Hi, I'm Dawn Westmoreland, hailing from Asheville, North Carolina, the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains, hailing from WPVM LP FM 103.7, the voice of Asheville. Every week I have a show about the workplace and things to improve the workplace. Today I have Ray Leonard Jr. He's the co-founder of Launch Team Consulting, and he's a Rebel Venture Studio, Nobody Studios, and CEO of Ovationz.com, which we're going to talk about that. And he's world-renowned motivational speaker, actor, radio and amp, podcast host, global ambassador, and also the son and namesake of Hall of Fame boxer Sugar Ray Leonard. Hi, Ray.
Hello, how are you, Don?
I'm doing good. You have so much to your bio that I'm just going to try to go over it. And Summer, I've known Summer for quite a while. She's an evaluation empowerment coach, doctor of clinical psychology, podcaster, producer, live show host, author, and military spouse. That's Marine officer spouse. And she's the founder of Core Women LLC. And that is where women, it's a unique home for the hearts and souls of women where they can kinetically connect, organically learn from one another, reshape lives through diverse interaction, and energize one another to promote change. So the new word is Ovationz. Ovationz is out. Ray, you created it. Would you like to tell the listeners about Ovationz?
Yes. I'm excited about the platform. It was created out of a necessity, for me. I've been traveling the world, speaking at different places from Bahrain to Greece to Washington State, so all over. And when the pandemic hit, there was nothing out there that prepared me for how to function in the virtual world or connect directly with people that wanted to hire me. So I decided to create it. Got an amazing team together, and in a short period of time, we built this platform that allows not only the superstars, but the emerging speakers, the emerging coaches, to be able to have an opportunity to connect directly with their audience.
That's great. And Summer, you are also on Ovationz.
Yes, I am. And I'm so excited about this platform. I'm excited about what Ray is creating here and how it's developing. It's planting its roots now, and it's really taking off. And I love that it is an entertainment marketplace, so an event marketplace, so that it is a place for the emerging entrepreneur. It is a place for the emerging speaker. It is a place for the established speaker. And it's also a place where it has an opportunity to grow. It's not just your typical speakers bureau. It really is something different and something more rich. And so I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, it's community too. So that's one of the biggest things, that we all support each other. We're all promoting each other, and we want the best for each other. So that makes it get cooler.
Yeah.
Ray, I want to ask you, why did you pick emerging leaders and speakers?
Well, I was an agent for a long time, and I saw kind of the emptiness and what happens with traditional speakers bureaus, where the top tier, the top 1% are the people that are getting booked most of the time. And you have so many fantastic people that have great stories that are out there, could be amazing educators for others that need that opportunity and just a bigger platform and a bigger space to be heard. So no, that's kind of the focus. It's the Magic Johnsons, Oprah Winfrey's, all of them of the world. They'll get booked, by these big corporations. But what about the rest of us?
Yeah. So are you taking more people on at Ovationz?
Yeah, we're starting to take more people on. When we started out, my whole thought process was to be kind of an invitation only thing, just for quality control and make sure that we had the right speakers on early on, to be the ambassadors, to be the people that actually pushed it out to the masses. But we're starting to take on a little bit more, as we go. We're growing at a phenomenal rate, and when you're first starting something like this, you don't want to grow faster than you can handle. So, that's kind of where we are.
Yes. So both of you offer different services on Ovationz. I know Summer well enough that she likes to do the infrastructure, behind the scenes things. What are you offering on Ovationz, Summer?
Oh, well, coaching, speaking, production. I love to produce. Ray knows that.
Yes, she's phenomenal. She's phenomenal at it. So
So thank you, Ray. I do love to produce digital seminars, on-site seminars. I love to do coaching, and I also love to do speaking, but in a different way. So I'm more of a fireside chat speaker. So I love to do more of those panel discussions. So if organizations or if a corporation wants to do a fireside chat, either with people within their domain or with me facilitating that, I love doing that. As you well know, Dawn, I have a podcast, a live show. So I love to be the host of and facilitate those conversations. It really is a lot of fun for me.
Great. And Ray, you're known as a business person. Are you just doing motivational speaking, or are you also doing consulting?
yes, I do the motivational speaking, which is became like one of my first loves, surprisingly, because I never thought that would be the case. But it was kind of a therapy for me when it first started, and I saw how it affected people and changed some people's lives, and it became kind of a passion. So definitely doing the motivational speaking, the podcast appearances, the live appearances. So we take out the middleman with Ovationz and make it directly easy to people to directly book for a fraction of the cost. So
yeah. And how does somebody find Ovationz?
So it's Ovationz with a Z, because everybody loves a standing ovation. So that was, how the name came about, because it was something totally different beforehand. And I said, that's not going to work. So, we found a name that had a ring to it that works really well, but it's Ovationz with a Z at the end.
Awesome. Now, the two of you have great synergy, and you have created an event in San Diego. One of you want to talk about that event? I believe it's November 5th of 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you mind if I jump in here, Ray?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You love producing.
Well, so do you.
Yes.
So, I met Ray through a terrific friend. Her name is Sajal Thacker. So thank you. Shout out to Sajal. Thank you for that introduction. I knew right when I met Ray, he was a very special person. And I have to say, what really connected me to him was he was very humanistic in his approach and very open to new ideas. And I absolutely love that, because you never know where a new idea is going to go and how it's going to grow. And that's what Ovationz is all about. And so when I started learning more about Ovationz from Ray and from different people and seeing it out there, I just loved it. I love that it's growing. It's something new. It's something that's just planting its roots. So I really wanted to learn more about that. So I had this conversation with Ray and we started talking. And then one day I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should do a conference together. So I thought, I'm going to ask Ray. And Ray was like, sure, okay. And that's kind of how the conversation began, right? Right,
yeah.
Ray?
Yeah. It just happens. Like, all right, let's do a conference together. I say, okay. Have fun with the conference. Yeah, great meeting you. And we actually got to meet each other in person in Washington, D.C. I had to travel to do a speech there. So we just kind of hit it off. And our whole team just came together really quickly, and we put this special conference together that's I think is just going to knock everybody's socks off.
Oh, absolutely. So the conference is Saturday, November 5th. And we're actually, the night before, we're going to actually have a nice little get together at one of Ray's restaurants, right, Ray?
Yeah, one of the restaurants that I'm involved in.
Okay, well,
So
you want to talk about that restaurant?
Yeah, it's called Celebrity Soul Food. It's actually a franchise, and it's a fantastic place. We just got the lease on a beautiful location in San Diego, right by the convention center. So we're working feverishly to get that off the ground. So we'll be ready to go by the time the conference comes around.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that. So that pre-event should be November 4th, which is on a Friday. And starting around, I would say about 5:30. We're going to have more details about that to come, and that will be on Eventbrite. But the actual conference itself will happen on the 5th of November, which is a Saturday. And that starts at 9:30 in the morning. Oh my goodness. We have so many incredible speakers, so much going on. We are so excited about this. So it starts at 9:30. And for our VIP guests, we have a red carpet event from 9:30 to 10:30. So that's going to be really exciting with photographers walking the red carpet. Ray's going to be there doing some interviews. Right, Ray?
Yes, I will. I will. I'll be walking the red carpet, and I'll be freshly dressed and have some great interviews to go along with it.
And we'll have a great DJ Hustle. Actually, Jen Fontanilla, who has been on this radio show before, she will actually be doing some of the interviews with Ray. Woo woo! Shout out to my favorite partner, Jen Fontanilla. So that'll happen and start at 9:30 in the morning. And then as we proceed, the actual conference will start at 10:30, but registration is 9:30 to 10:30. The conference will start at 10:30. And oh my goodness, our speakers, they are so incredible. But first, let me tell you the name of the conference. It's called GRITConn. And the reason it's called GRITConn is because it's an acronym that stands for Growth, Resiliency, Intention, Transformation, and Connection. And these are some of the things that I absolutely believe in. I firmly believe that we as humans have the opportunity to always grow. We have innate and learned resiliency. We are intentional about our decisions and the things that we want to do in life. And we have that opportunity to really be transformative. So, and here's the best part of this conference is about connection. It takes and moves networking to a different phase. It really is about that deep, meaningful connection, those relationships, building those relationships. And that's what this conference is all about, is really taking you to that next step. So for instance, if you are somebody who is, and who is this for, you might ask, it's for the person who is maybe in a career right now and is looking for some career growth and leadership in their current organization to level up. So that's one person. The next is those emerging entrepreneurs, as we talked about earlier. The next person is the active duty, separated, and retired military members. You're a military member, Dawn. Woo, woo, woo. Congratulations. Thank you for your service. And it's for those who are going through that change process. So that change from military and getting out and maybe looking at a new career path or even starting their own business. It's for people looking to pursue their second career, that 2.0. It's for people looking to start a new journey, new skills, to acquire new skills, innovation, and with that can-do mindset. All of these speakers are going to be speaking to everything that I've mentioned here. So it's going to be inspirational, it's going to be empowering, and more importantly, it's an opportunity to connect and build those relationships. So there's so much to offer here. We're so excited about this. So that's an overview of the conference.
Yes, and I'd be under those retired Air Force people.
Well, thank you for your service. And Ray.
Sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, really? I want to talk about one of the acronyms. You talk about resiliency, and a lot of military people who've been in, it doesn't matter if they've been in 4 years or 20 years, they learn resiliency. But who's going to be speaking about resiliency? Who's your
good question. I'm going to leave this one up to Ray, because we have so many great speakers.
Yeah. All of our speakers are fantastic. We're going to have the fireside chat with us, with Summer and Dr. Joy Wright and Jen and myself. You'll have the fireside chat. We'll talk about our backgrounds and things like that. We have a former NFL running back, Prince Daniels Jr., who became a monk, basically, because of all the things that he had to deal with a lot of the mental health issues, attempted suicide. So, talking about coming back, about being resilient. I mean, he's one of the most fantastic people that we can have. We also have Leslie Rasmussen. We have George George Foreman III. So we have an amazing group of speakers that are going to tell their story. They're all resilient people. We have entertainment, we have music. So it's not your average conference. So if you want to come and be entertained and learn and network with some amazing people, then that's the place to be.
Yeah. And right now, mental health is the big thing because people are out there suffering, sometimes privately, sometimes outwardly. Either one of you, because Summer Watson has the psychology degree. Why is mental health so important to talk about these days?
Well, there's a plethora of reasons. And thank you for that introduction about, my background, because I am a doctor of clinical psychology. So I've worked in the field of mental health for years, assessing people who were suicidal, homicidal, and gravely disabled. And so I've worked in those milieus with humans. And so there are multiple factors, but there are many factors recently that really have propelled this issue. And that being one of those being COVID, because we've been in isolation for the most part for the last 2 years, which really has increased the significance of mental health issues that we're seeing or that is kind of exploding right now. So we're looking at those isolation factors, reintegrating into society, what that looks like for kids, youth, adults, all of that. And there's so much transition happening. And so we just weren't ready. And so we weren't ready. The schools weren't ready, and no faults of their own. It's just, it impacted us all in so many different ways. We're human beings. And as human beings, we're kind of pack animals, right? And so we like that socialization. And when there's lack of that socialization, what happens is we feel isolated, we feel alone, we feel like we can't reach out. And then we're caught in this myopic kind of world of our computer screens, our televisions, our phones, these things, right? And so we like that human connection. As much as we say, oh, we love these computer screens and we use them all the time, or these phones and this technology, we actually like the human contact. We like the human connection. And without having that for 2 years, it really did a doozy on so many. And so now we're looking at the kind of the results of what that is today. And so this is Mental Health Awareness Month, September is. And so this is a good time to be talking about this. So thank you for bringing that up, Dawn, because it's so important for us to recognize and know the signs when somebody's having problems. And a lot of times we call those invisible wounds or invisible scars or invisible, signs. And I think when we become more educated about what's happening, we become more aware of how to identify the signs of somebody really decompensating.
Yeah, I do appreciate you're talking about mental health, because that's one of the things that I speak upon a lot. Just from unfortunately having to go through all the big four pretty much throughout my life, from drug and alcohol abuse with my father and many members of my family, from suicide and the mental health battles from my mother to domestic abuse and all these other issues that come up. So a lot of times when I speak, I go and speak to the military quite a bit, and I'll tell my story and how we overcame it, because sometimes it's a cycle that your mind is so clogged with what you're used to that it's hard to get over that cycle and change your behaviors. So talking about it is one of the biggest things, as far as you talk about being resilient, and about taking the stigma off of saying you're struggling mentally. I think it's a big thing, and glad we're able to bring it to light.
Ray, do you find that it's getting easier for men to speak about mental health issues? Are we getting any better in the area of men?
I think we are. From what I've seen, conversations with my friends or people that, are close to. We were football players or boxers, macho, thought we were the macho guys that we couldn't show any kind of emotion and we couldn't, talk about certain things. But it's changed quite a bit. And we have these conversations. My friends call me, check up on me. I call them and check up on them, my guy friends. So I think it's becoming easier, and I think the stigma is leaving a little bit. We still have a long way to go, but I think we've made tremendous progress in a short period of time.
Awesome. And thank you so much for your transparency, because I know both of you have backstories of why you do the work that you do. So if somebody attends this one-day seminar or convention, they're going to learn about connecting with other people. They're going to make meaningful relationships. And, can you name some of the speakers and what they'll be talking about?
Absolutely. So Ray mentioned that we would have Prince Daniels Jr., and he is a former NFL player, and he made the switch from sports to, I think Ray said, a monk, correct? And so he'll be talking about that transition and what that looked like for him, because he had his own issues in regards to mental health, maybe some suicidal ideation. So he's going to be talking about how he went through his transition, what he was impacted by. Go ahead, Ray.
Oh,
There you are. We lost you for a bit.
Prince, if you just get to know him, was similar to, when I connect with people, pretty easily. So when Summer and I connected, Prince and I was pretty much the same thing. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
See, that's this connection sometimes. Yeah, but Prince, we had kind of the first time we spoke, we met through some friends, and then all of a sudden it's stuck on a podcast together. And so it's when you have that energy and you meet people that have the same kind of life and energy that you have, it makes it easier to work with them and do business with them. So I'm just so blessed and overjoyed to be able to meet many of these amazing people.
Yeah. This Summer, what do you hope to get out of this one-day event?
Well, I know you mentioned connection, and there's more than connection. So it's about growth and sharing those opportunities and sharing those journeys and sharing those stories. You know me, Dawn, on the Core Women podcast, I love to bring in women and talk to women about their journeys. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be talking about journeys, what that looks for in regards to that growth, resiliency, intention, transformation, and connection, and how those people did that. Because we have Prince Daniels Jr., we have Leslie Rasmussen, and Leslie is incredible. She graduated from UCLA, and she comes from the entertainment background, and she was a writer in the industry. And so what that looked like for her during the 80s and 90s was really challenging. And she wrote for people like Roseanne Barr and Burt Reynolds, and she wrote for Hill Street Blues and Carol Burnett Show. And so she did a lot of this different writing for these different people. And her goal was to be one of these top writers, but she kept being passed over and passed over and passed over because she was a woman, but she'd have seniority. And she said, oh, it was so challenging. And so we talk about her journey, and that's going to be a really interesting conversation, because that's going to be more of a dialogue between her and I, where we're going to be sitting on stage and having that conversation, more like a fireside chat. So that's going to be really exciting. And then we're also going to have George Foreman III, So, and talk about his background and his resiliency and his tenacity. And so that'll be really interesting as well, to be able to talk to him about his journey. And from that, it all encapsulates GRITConn. And so the people who will be there will really, it'll be different than any other conference they've been to. It'll be more like an experience. When we started talking about this event, the one thing that I felt very strongly about is I don't want people just sitting in their seats and just being bored and, you know, going there for maybe one specific thing. I wanted them to be engaged. I wanted them to be able to lean in and say, oh my gosh, this was invigorating. Now I have some of those first, second, and third steps where I can start my journey, where I can start my transformation, where my journey is going to look a little different. And then we're also going to have, and we have not mentioned this, but a mentalist there. And so that mentalist is going to be the entertainer there, and he is also going to engage the audience. So again, this is going to be very different than your typical conference, because it's going to be really engaging. It's going to be really empowering, and it's going to be really uplifting, and it's going to help with those first steps. So
yeah, either one of you, I'd like you to answer the question, what is more important, professional development or personal development? If you had to pick one.
I would say personal. And I'll say that, and I hope you don't mind me jumping in here, Ray, but I'll say that because I like to go back to something that I'm thinking hard about lately, and that's the woo-woo factor. People call it the woo-woo factor, and that was a term that really came from the government, that we don't really impart like our feelings, how we're doing, how we're feeling, and really set the stage for that in regards to it integrating into what we do professionally. That wasn't a part of that whole mindset of, if you're here professionally, you do your job, you work so many hours, blah, blah, blah. But what really ends up happening, and the shift is now, we need to take into consideration what's important to our employees, what's important to ourselves, what our values are, all these things. And some people might refer to that as woo-woo, but I refer to that as your foundation of being able to begin your true and authentic journey. And so those factors really help you guide you to that next job, guide you into entrepreneurship, because every one of those factors, your values and those woo-woo factors, are going to be representative in your business. They're going to be reflective in that. They're going to be reflective in the talks that you have. They're going to be reflective in the people that you work with. And so that openness, that authenticity, just like Ray shows and talks about those big four, that's so important. Because why? Because it's about connection. People lean in, people start connecting, they start understanding you more.
That's pretty awesome. Well, we're down to the last minute. If somebody wants to attend the GRITConn on November 5th, 2022, how do they purchase a ticket? Where do they go to?
They can go to Eventbrite. We have the link all over our websites. We have them on our social media links. Ray has them on his social media links. So if you go down into the feed, we've got those pretty much everywhere. So if you follow Ray, you follow myself on Core Women, you'll find the link.
Okay, and you're both on LinkedIn, so people can just do a search and they can connect with you on LinkedIn too?
LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Yes.
Any parting words, Ray, as we wrap up? Did we lose them again?
Just type in Ray Leonard Jr. Everywhere, everyone.
Everywhere.
Yeah, just no. Thank you for having us on the show. We're super excited about the conference.
Yes. Well, we're going to say goodbye to Ray. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me?
I know you're the busiest person out there, Ray. Thank you for creating Ovationz and also this event that's going to help a lot of people. Summer, thank you.
Yeah, just thank you. I just tell
you're always important.
Just close out, Summer.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr.